Howdy, Banger pals. Blayne Smith welcoming you to another Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. So the drought for big releases continues. It's the summer. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go where the faucet never turns off, and that's the underground. They have our backs. Let's have a listen. So that was Liminal Shroud. Their new album is called Visions of Collapse and comes out July 5th on Willowtip Records. This won't be shocking news to anyone, but I'm not exactly the most patriotic person. A way I can celebrate Canada Day, though, is by talking about some black metal out of Victoria, British Columbia. So I am a Liminal Shroud fan. Their first record came out way back in 2020, and I tossed it on our old Patreon tip sheet because we talk about more records over on the Patreon campaign. Their second record would have been in Metal Monthly if not for, well, this goofy-ass cover, but more seriously, having the misfortune of releasing the same month as Black Braid's first record. A distracting release, to say the least. Their third album, though, has an absolutely perfect cover by a personal favorite artist of mine, Misanthropic Art. Oh my God, look at that. Nailed it. And it's coming out in July 2024. A month so barren it's going up against, I don't know, I guess Paul Diato's Warhorse, so it's skipping the Metal Monthly treatment and going straight to full review. Oh, good. Obscure Canadian black metal review that starts with a section about drumming. Anthony Fantano better watch out. I'm coming for those views. But that's where I'm starting because it's so apparent, so quick that you're in for a really special drum performance on this record. While the actual album starts with some chill atmosphere building, still actually music, but chill atmosphere building for a few minutes, it quickly changes into a force on the back of Drew Davidson's phenomenal drumming. Even for me, someone who does really love drumming, I find it rare that a drummer can sort of transcend the utilitarian function of drums and stand up there with guitars. They can frequently dazzle with technical prowess, but it's hard to have the emotive impact of your stringed instruments. Drew's drums do that constantly. I mean, it doesn't hurt. He's also drawing you in with the technical side, but his constant attention stealing is really down to how his drums make me feel. He's all over the kit, but in a way that sounds expressive instead of manic. So spoiler alert, I actually only have one negative thing to say about this record. Normally you'd say, hey, why don't you leave that till the end then? But I'm just going to toss it here, get it out of the way, and then we can just get excited about how great this record is. So negative point, there's somebody singing on this black metal record, and we know how I feel about that at this point. As a black metal fan, I don't want this to happen ever. Period. And for me, that would be the end of this section. I would just say that and you would go, yes. But I guess technically I am reviewing a record in a professional capacity, so I'll do my actual job and give a reason instead of just going, Ew. If you were to play me this clip outside, isolated from the record, just extract the vocals, none of the instruments around it, play it for me and say, hey, Blayne, what style of metal would you say this came from? The first thing I'd say is, boy, this is a weird game show. I don't know if it's going to take off, before I locked in my answer of, that's a folk metal record. No hesitation. So why is that a problem? Folk and black are old friends at this point. Well, it's just that there's nothing else really from that style on the record. No one's busted out any obscure medieval folk instruments or anything. A guy just goes OEO type of thing a couple of times. It doesn't fit with the vibe of the record for me, and also I hate singing. I'll play it for you. You can decide how you feel about it, and then yeah, it's just good news from here on out. The other reason the singing bugs me so much, and I wanted to talk about it quickly, is because the rest of the vocals on the record are exactly what I want out of black metal vocals. They're perfect. They nail it. What the hell? I find a frequent stumbling block for Canadian and American black metal is the vocals, partly just for the relatively simple reason that our accents lack a lot of character, and any that is there is lost compared to something like a Norwegian accent, which is just a sound we associate with metal at this point. Whatever, for better or for worse, whatever you think about that. There's a very European character to Liminal Shroud's vocals. I don't know. That might sound like gibberish. That might sound like nonsense. So once again, outside of me saying weird stuff, I also have something concrete and empirical to say, which we can use in a review, which is that they cover a wide range of black metal vocals, from evil demonic preacher to more strained internal pain screams. It's got great longevity as a result, because bands are usually locked into one style, and that's without even counting the fucking singing. So if you're okay with that, I guess that adds even more diversity. In addition to this, the harsh vocals still sound like they're coming from the same record, and they happen in the same song. So it's not like, here's our song about Satan, here's our depressive suicidal black metal song, here's our whatever. It's cohesive and coherent. Not that you should really be expecting like songs on this record. A quick gander at these song lengths can probably tip you off that there ain't going to be any singing along to any choruses. This is not going to be verse, chorus. It's an 11-minute long song. In only the best way, though. Their style of drums, guitar, and yes, there's also impactful bass here too, just lends itself to longer, sprawling tracks. You want these guys to be able to fully realize an idea, a riff, a passage at their pace and the way they want to, without being fettered by an arbitrary limiter structure. What's great, though, is it doesn't take them 9 minutes to get there. It's only really the first minute of a track that sets the stage before you get a fully realized idea and a kind of like, oh shit moment. It's an ebb and flow more than just like a straight curve of ramping up. This is further proven by the outlier on the album, the 4-minute and 8-second track there. Just as a quick piece of trivia, 4 minutes and 8 seconds is tied for their shortest song ever from their first record. You'd figure, based on the surrounding tracks, it would be some kind of interlude nonsense, the wind blowing, maybe some weird audio clip of some old guy. But it's a great track that they felt was 4 minutes and 8 seconds. I like that at both ends they're not adhering to predefined song lengths, because a lot of time these 10-minute bands have to always make these 10-minute songs, and you're like, yeah, but can you succinctly tell me something in a way that's enjoyable? Let me test you there. And they pass with flying colors. They can make a statement in any length at any point. Like, this is what the first 2 minutes of an 11-minute song sound like. So yes, there is some singing, but it's not singing. So it's a distraction instead of a deal breaker to me. Hell, I mean, the rest of things are so good that they probably could have stuck a fucking show tune in the middle and I'd still be like, I'll let it slide. They're a cool Canadian black metal band with 3 great records now. I'm literally just talking about them here because I think the last 2 albums were great. I think this one's great. I want you to check them out. I want you to get this record. I also want you to get the last 2 records. So, you know, it's also my birthday yesterday. So if you want to do me a birthday favor, check out Liminal Shroud and check out me giving them 4 out of 5 skulls that know when to keep their mouth shut. No singing out of these skulls. But no review on the channel would be complete without shoutouts. And of course, black metal, gonna black metal. So I have 3 black metal records for you. I also have a death metal record just in case this is too much black metal and you need something to mix it up. So up first, Horned Almighty is releasing Contagion 0 on Soul Cellar Records today, July 5th. Of course, Krallis is releasing another record because time has passed and therefore Krallis will release. It's called Inorganic Rights. It's an independent release. Also coming out today, July 5th. Limbs is releasing I don't know, they're French. It's another independent release, and it's another release coming out today, July 5th. And our final release coming out today, July 5th, is the death metal record Cryptic Hatred, Internal Torment on Time to Kill Records. So there's something to mix up your vibe. Those are 4 records. What do you think about Liminal Shroud? Have you checked them out? Have you heard of them before? Will you check them out for me? Let me know in the comments below. Say happy birthday to me. If you want to say happy birthday to Canada, do it by buying Canadian black metal.